our human reproduction, the chapter. But we know that this is very vital chapter for CBSE board exam, and we also and this is not only vital chapter for the theory, but the diagrams are also equally important. So today we will have a discussion, or rather a study on the diagrams related to human reproduction. Okay? So first of all, let us have a study on the male reproductive system front view. So you can see here, these are the testes, this is the scrotum, this is the epididymis, and this is the vas deferens. This vas deferens is coming here. This is the seminal vesicle. Clear, they are joining to form ejaculatory duct. This is not very prominent here. This is the prostate gland. This is the bulbourethral gland. This is the urethra. Clear, urethra, penis, glans penis. Clear, and this is the urinary bladder. This is the ureter joining the urinary bladder. So this is about the front view of male reproductive system. There is, in NCERT we have certain details of the testes, and we are doing these details of the testes in a separate diagram. So here we can see the details of the testes. This is the tunica albuginea. These are the testicular lobules. These are the seminiferous tubules. These are the coil part of seminiferous tubules. These are the straight part of the seminiferous tubules. Then the network of tubules, colorati testes. These are the vasa efferentia, fine tubules moving from testes to epididymis. This is the epididymis, head, body and caput part of epididymis, and this is the vas deferens. So this is the detailed structure of the testes. So here you can see, this is the side view of the male reproductive system. Clear? So this is the testes present within the scrotum. This is the epididymis. This is the vas deferens, moving into the from scrotum to abdomen. Clear? And these vas deferens, it is joining with this is the seminal vesicle. The ducts of the seminal vesicle joins with vas deferens to form a common ejaculatory duct, and this is the prostate gland. This is the bulbourethral gland. This is urethra. This is penis. This is the swell region, glans penis, and this is the urinary bladder here, and this is the ureter. This is the anal pore, and this is the vertebral column. So this is the side view of male reproductive system of human. Next is the sectional view of seminiferous testes, showing the seminiferous tubules. Clear? So sectional view of seminiferous tubules, rather these are the seminiferous tubules. Clear? So this is the sectional view of seminiferous tubules. These are the seminiferous tubules, the spermatogonial cell, various stages of spermatogenesis representing here. You can see here fine thread at the center lumen. The fine thread in the lumen, these are the spermatozoa, and their Sertoli cells are also there in between the different various stages of spermatogenesis. And here in the space, this is the interstitial space, and interstitial space, so in between the two seminiferous tubules, this is the interstitial space, and in the interstitial space we have a specialized tissue. This is called interstitial cells of Leydig, which secretes the testosterone. Clear? So this is about the sectional view of seminiferous tubule. If you are asked sectional view of seminiferous tubule, this will be the sectional view of seminiferous tubule. Clear? Next is the detailed structure of section of a single seminiferous tubule, a part of the section of single seminiferous tubule. These are the spermatogonial cell, Clear? It's so below this is germinal epithelium, then the spermatogonial cell, then various spermatocytes, primary, secondary spermatocytes, Sertoli cells, clear, the spermatids and the Sertoli cells. The sperms are embedding their head in the Sertoli cells to get the nutrition before escaping from the seminiferous tubules. So these are the cluster of sperms which are embedding their head in the Sertoli cells. So germinal epithelium, spermatogonial cells, various primary spermatocytes, the secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, Sertoli cells, elongated cells are the Sertoli cells, and the cluster of sperm embedding their head in the going to embed their head in the Sertoli cells to get the nutrition. So this is the part of the section of a single seminiferous tubule. Next, this is the front view of female reproductive system. This is the front view of female reproductive system. You can see here pair of ovary. These are the ligaments which are attached attaching uterus with the ovary. This is the uterus and these are the fallopian tube. This is the infundibulum, this funnel shaped part of this infundibulum. The finger like projections are the fimbriae. This swell region is the ampulla, this region is the isthmus, and this is the uterine part of the fallopian tube. So fallopian tube divided into infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus and uterine part. And we know that this is the ampular isthmic junction is the region where the fertilization occurs. And next, this is the uterus. This is the uterine. So this is the uterine fundus. This is the uterine cavity. These are the layers of the uterus. This is the innermost layer, endometrium, which undergoes cyclical changes. Clear? Then there is the myometrium, and there is perimetrium. So, and this is the cervix. Clear? The cervical part of the uterus. This is the cervix, the narrow tube, and then the vagina, the muscular, this region, and this is the vagina. So this is about the front view of the female reproductive system in human. Next, you can see here the side view of the female reproductive system. Clear? So this region is this is the ovary, this is the fallopian tube, this is the uterus, cervix, vagina, this is the clitoris. Clear? And labia majora, there is labia minora. This is the anal part. Clear? And this is the urethra, and there is the urinary bladder. So here 3 openings are there. One is the urethra. Clear? Urethra, and there's urinary bladder. From urinary bladder it is coming. This is the vaginal opening. Clear? Then cervix, then uterus, then fallopian tube. This is the ovary. And next is the anal canal. Clear? This is the anal canal, and this is the vertebral column. And in the head is the labia majora, labia minora, and this is the clitoris. So go through this diagram properly. Another diagram is the mammary gland. You can see here this is a nipple. These are the latissimus duct. Clear? And this is the ampulla. You can see here the latissimus duct. Ultimately, this is a swell region called ampulla. Clear? This is the mammary duct, and this is divided into numerous secondary ducts. and finally these are the alveoli, which actually just stores the milk. These are the fat. This is the deposition of fat. So nipple, then the latissiferous ducts, then the ampulla, then the mammary ducts, secondary, primary and secondary mammary ducts, then the alveoli. These are the fat deposits, clear, and this is the muscle. So this is about the mammary gland of the human female. Next we will discuss about the spermatogenesis. You can see these are the spermatogonial cell undergoing division and differentiation, clear. So these are the primary spermatocyte undergoing so spermatogonial cell undergoing division and differentiation. So this forms the primary spermatocyte, which are diploid till it is diploid. Now meiosis 1 will occur. So these are the two secondary spermatocyte with haploid chromosome number. Secondary spermatocyte undergoing meiosis 2. These are the 4 spermatids, clear, which are also N haploid chromosome number, and then the changes spermiogenesis forming the spermatozoa. Next, this is a sperm, a single spermatozoa. So you can see here, this is the cell membrane, plasma membrane of the sperm. The whole sperm is covered by, encircled by plasma membrane. This is acrosome. This is the nucleus, haploid nucleus of the sperm. This forms the head. Then the neck portion containing 2 centrioles, and finally the middle portion, middle piece with lots of mitochondria. You can see here the spirally arranged mitochondria, and then this is the axonium fibril, and this portion is the tail. So head, neck, middle piece and tail, clear. So this is the structure of a spermatozoa or human sperm. Next, you can see here, this is the ovary section, LS of an ovary, clear. These are the follicles, primary follicles. This is the primary follicles. This is the secondary follicle. These are the tertiary and tertiary follicles. Finally the Graafian follicle. So primary follicle, secondary follicle, the tertiary, and then final Graafian follicle. Then during ovulation, ruptured Graafian follicle releasing the secondary oocyte, clear, and then ruptured Graafian follicle after releasing the secondary oocyte, the follicular cells forming the corpus luteum, and this is the immature corpus luteum, mature corpus luteum, and finally degenerates to form corpus albicans. So this is the LS of human ovary. Next we will have a look on the oogenesis. So we can see here, these are the oogonial cell. Oogonial cell undergoes differentiation and division forming primary oocyte, clear, and this primary oocyte starts meiosis but get arrested and remain as such. So this forms during fetal stage, but this the fetal stage and as arrested as such till puberty, and then puberty the division is again resumed. Meiosis 1 is completed after the attainment of puberty, and this is the secondary oocyte, and this is the first polar body, and this secondary oocyte will now be, but during ovulation it will be carried to the fallopian tube, and if sperm enters, then it will undergo complete, because it is arrested in the metaphase 2, it will complete the division and form ovum and second polar body. So this is the figure of oogenesis in human, clear. This part occurs in the fetal stage, and this occurs after the onset of puberty, and this phase occurs after the entry of the sperm. Clear? So these are the diploid cells. This is also a diploid cell. This is also a haploid cell. This is a haploid. This is also an haploid cell. This is also an haploid cell. Next, we will discuss the structure of the figure given as representing the menstrual cycle. You can see here, these are the 1 to 5th day of the menstrual cycle, where this menstruation occurs, is the menstrual phase, and the uterine. So this part is the uterine part. Uterine part is kept off, clear, and forming menses. And then this is the follicular phase till 14th day. During follicular phase, this initiation of the endometrial formation, thickening of the endometrial wall starts, and then at the it continues till the luteal phase, at the more or less at the end of luteal phase, and after that, when with the decrease of progesterone, it is again scraped off. Now this is the hormonal. So we can see here the hormonal condition. So these are the FSH and LH. You can see here, this is FSH. It is gradually increasing and it is released by these follicular cells. So it is gradually increasing during the follicular phase, and it's released by anterior pituitary, and it released by anterior pituitary, and it is regulating the follicular cells to release estrogen. Clear? The follicular cells to the development of follicles, and regulating follicular cells to release. So it helps in development of follicles. You can see the gradual development of follicles under the influence of this FSH. And this is the primary follicle, secondary follicle, immature tertiary follicle, mature tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle, ruptured Graafian follicle. So these are the, in the follicular phase, these are the series of development occurs in the follicles, and there is increase. You can see there is gradual increase of the estrogen, which is released by these follicular cells, and in the day of ovulation, and in the day of ovulation there is increase in the FSH also, and there is also increase in the LH. This huge increase in the LH, luteinizing hormone, and there is increase in the estrogen. So three hormones are at their peak on the day of ovulation, that is 14th day. The Graafian follicle ruptures, releases secondary oocyte, and now the ovulation will occur, secondary oocyte will be released, and then the hormonal level decreases again, and this, but LH is still in a higher. You can see here LH is still higher, and this LH, influence of LH produces, actually develops corpus luteum from the ruptured follicles. It forms the corpus luteum. So gradually corpus luteum develops, and more the corpus luteum releases the hormone progesterone. So when corpus luteum is developed, well developed, progesterone hormones also increases, but gradually if there is no fertilization, the corpus luteum starts degenerating, and so the progesterone level of progesterone is also decreasing. Clear? And it finally forms the white corpus luteum is yellow in color, but ultimately it forms the white corpus albicans. And as this is degenerating, the corpus luteum is degenerating, progesterone is decreasing, the endometrial wall is again kept off, and thus we know again it is coming back to menstruation, menstrual phase. So this is about, so this occurs till 14th day and then the till 28th day. So ovarian cycle or menstrual cycle. So this is the structure of ovum, or rather secondary oocyte. This is the cellular part, and this is the vitelline membrane, perivitelline space. Then this is the zona pellucida. This zona pellucida, outside the zona pellucida there is another zona pellucida is the membranous covering, and outside it there is a cellular covering called corona radiata. This is the sperm trying to enter the ovum, and this sperm, you can see, this has touched the zona pellucida and likely to reach the ovum, enter the ovum, and other will be prevented. So this is about the secondary oocyte and ovum. And this is the figures showing the development of embryo. This is one side of the, this is ovary, this is the fallopian tube, this is the uterus, and there are various stages of the development of, you can see here, this is the secondary oocyte, this is the fertilization is occurring here, clear, and then the zygote undergoing division, that is cleavage, forming 2 cells, then 4 cell stage, but without any increase in the volume, then forming a solid mass called morula, clear, and till now their zona pellucida is there, you can see here zona pellucida is there, and now it is moving here, so it is a solid mass of 8 to 16 cells, rather 32 cell stage entering in the uterus. And now when it enters in the uterus, now this is the blastula. You see that blastula, there is, due to uterine milk, there is huge proliferation in the development. This proliferation is part of growth, and as a result the size increases a lot. Zona pellucida breaks off. This is the trophoblast cells, clear, trophoblast cells. This is the inner cell mass, this is the blastocell form, this is the cavity containing the fluid coming from the trophoblast cells, and so this is the blastocyst or blastula. Here you can see this is the embryo, this the outer trophoectoderm forming chorion forming chorionic villi. This is the endometrial wall, and chorionic villi entering in the endometrial wall forming the placenta. Interdigitation of chorionic villi and endometrial wall forming placenta, and the inner trophoendoderm forms the amnion. This is the amniotic fluid, and this is the inner cell mass forming epiblast and hypoblast. Epiblast is going to form the mesoderm and ectoderm, and hypoblast forming the endoderm. Clear? So this is the, so this is about the placenta formation. And next, this is the developed, we know that this is the fetus, and this is the uterus, this is the wall of the uterus, clear, and endometrium, and this red portion is the cavity of the uterus, and this is the villi forming placenta, decidua placentae. This is the umbilical cord. Here we will find allantois. Here is the yolk sac, very human, it is very insignificant in human, clear, and this is the amniotic fluid, this is amnion, and so this is about the, and this is the cervix, this is a plug in the cervix. So this is about the whole uterus of a pregnant mother who is more or less fully developed fetus. So I think we have completed the diagrams. Diagrams are very important. Go through the labeling thoroughly also, clear, and we have all generally the diagrams which I have shown, they are from the books, NCERT books, which will be convenient for you to answer also. Okay, thank you.